Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to show 167 with yours truly, the Hippie Pastor. I come in the name of the Lord, as you may observe. Thank you for watching the show. This is show 167. I'm here to show you the true meanings of the words of Jesus, of which we have been brainwashed since we were tiny tots about religion. Jesus Christ did not come to invent a new religion. He came to deliver us from religion, which is part of the political and economical system of mankind. He came to show us that the only true religion is a religion of love, and that God is love and freedom. Ladies and gents, as you may have noticed in the title of this show, okay, believe it or not, and take note, please take note, this is extremely important. King Solomon, from the Old Testament, King Solomon of Israel, the great King Solomon, known as the wisest man that ever lived, and Jesus said that he was the wisest man that ever lived. He had 1,000 wives. You got to be wise to have 1,000 wives. But he was also a revolutionary, and he went down in history as a bad guy. They accused him of being what do you call it, like a satanic, person, okay, from Satan or something. Bad things, all right? So, which is because he was a revolutionary that was ahead of his time, and he was promoting religious freedom. You heard correctly, religious freedom, okay? So they called him an evil sorcerer at the end. At the beginning, they worshipped him and all this for all his proverbs and the books that he wrote. But at the end, he went down in history of Israel and of Christianity, Christianity being just an off-branch of the Israeli religion, went down in history as an evil sorcerer, as a demon man who worshipped other gods because he allowed his 1,000 wives to worship their own gods. And not only that, but he helped build temples for his wives to worship their own gods. What a revolutionary, but misunderstood, because in those days, they believed that they were Israel was the only true religion of God, and everybody else, they had to make war and kill. They were considered pagans, and they needed to be slaughtered. Christianity took the same path, of exclusiveness. We're the only ones that have the only truth, and if you don't accept Christianity, we will kill you and destroy you and enslave you and take your gold and take your lands unless you submit and become a Christian. Okay? So they took the same path. And coincidentally, Jesus Christ was also accused of being an evil sorcerer by the Pharisees, the religious leaders of Israel in those days, because also he went against the system, and he was also promoting freedom from religion and freedom in love, and he was embracing sinners and the street people and the Samaritans, and they even called him a Samaritan devil. That's what the Pharisees called Jesus Christ. Say not we right that you are a Samaritan and you're demon-possessed? Just like they went down more or less in history of the King Solomon, and both for the same exact reason of promoting religious freedom. How do you like that? So I wanted to make that one thing clear, and very clear. Ladies and gentlemen, as we go on, let us do the quote of today. The quote of today, it say, let's see who can guess this illustrious author. No, it wasn't me. This is me. This is what I am. If anybody doesn't like it, they can go F themselves. I won't say the complete word of F. They can go F themselves, because I don't want anybody to find an excuse to shut the show down, just in case. So this is what the man said. This is me. This is what I am. If anybody doesn't like it, they can go F themselves. Who said it? No, it wasn't Jesus Christ. No, it wasn't King Solomon. It was the great illustrious man, wonderful human being that left the planet, leaving a bright light for others to follow, Anthony Bourdain, writer and cook and world traveler and philosopher. Thank you, Anthony Bourdain. I know you're in heaven with the Lord and the holy angels. Thank you for your wisdom. And you're sharing your life with the entire planet, though, you knew when it was time to go. So we don't point fingers here. You point the finger at somebody. Look, 3 fingers are pointing back at you. Ladies and gentlemen, so let us embark and continue the words of Jesus. That's what we're here for. As you may know, we're in chapter 3 of the book of Mark. We only read the red letters, the words of Jesus, and I fill in the in-betweens for you, giving you the true interpretation and true meaning, okay? I hope you like it. And so we continue now. We're in verse 23 of the chapter 3 of the book of Mark. Here's Jesus. And he called them unto him, and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? See, the Pharisees, the religious leaders, had accused Jesus of being from Satan, of being a demonic sorcerer, of being satanic, of doing his miracles through the power of Satan. Some people say the same thing about me. I don't take it personal, though. So Jesus is hitting them back and saying to these religious hypocrites that were accusing him of being satanic, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. Beautiful. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Okay, so there he is, saying that there's no way that he was doing his miracles or casting out demons by the power of Satan, because Satan can't fight against Satan. It made no sense. Okay? So there goes Jesus, a little pissed off by now that they were accusing him of being satanic because, he had the Spirit of God, and he considered that he took it as a personal insult. Here he goes. Verily I say unto you, all sins shall be forgiven unto the sons of men, and blasphemies wherewith soever they shall blaspheme. We read the King James Version here. Educate yourself. And blasphemies wherewith soever they shall blaspheme. But he that shall blaspheme against the Holy Ghost hath never forgiveness, but is in danger of eternal damnation. Okay, there we go. So we know from studies and research that this deal about eternal damnation is false. It's not true. Okay, I doubt very much that Jesus said it, or if he said it in a moment of anger, because nobody will be eternally damned, not even Satan, the man in question. Okay, and God didn't create us to burn in flames in eternal damnation. That would be silly. That's just a thing they added on there, the religious politicians, just to scare people and to get them to pay their tithe, their 10%, and go to church and be submitted unto the religious system with fear. You're going to go to eternal damnation, eternal hell. That's ridiculous. That's contradictory. How can God, the God of love, who made us for a purpose of love and growth and spiritual growth, and we're just passing through this planet to learn many times by our mistakes, and sometimes we don't learn. Sometimes people pass away. They leave this earth without having learned but they will go to some other spiritual dimension where they will still have to learn these lessons and humble themselves and abandon their pride and learn to love, learn to fight, and learn to love. Because we are eternal creatures, and we will all come out victorious one day in the eternal reconstitution. Read about it, cosmic restitution. Everything will go back to the way of love, because love is the most powerful thing there is, the most powerful. There's nothing more powerful than love. Love shall defeat hate. Love shall defeat evil. Okay? Even Lucifer, even Satan won't be able to resist the love of God. The people who don't believe that are afraid. They have fear of the devil, fear of Lucifer, fear of Satan. It's because they don't have enough vision and they don't have enough love. So they're afraid. Fear, like my older brother told me, fear nothing but fear itself. Okay? So therefore, this fear, no, it's a no-no. And Jesus was pretty pissed off to have said that. If he did say the eternal damnation part, but he was pretty upset that he took it as a personal insult to his dignity, to his self-respect, to his honorability, okay? These religious hypocrites accusing him because he was a revolutionary, just like King Solomon, fighting for religious freedom, which was a new concept. Well, King Solomon started it, but Jesus continued it, okay? And Jesus even said that there is not a wiser man than King Solomon, okay? All right? But Jesus went in that path, and he said what King Solomon said, religious freedom. Okay, then, Jesus was there in his house, and he was sharing with people, and he looked round about them, and we sat and said, oh, because somebody had said, wait a minute, backtrack. Somebody said, oh, they interrupted him, and they said, oh, your mama, Mother Mary, your mother and your brethren. See, Jesus had seven brothers. Between brothers and sisters, there were seven. He wasn't an only child, so that means that the Virgin Mary didn't die a virgin. She had sex with Joseph the carpenter. Okay, he had seven siblings. Okay, in case he didn't know. And so somebody said, oh, your mama and your brothers and sister, they're all outside. They want to talk to you. And Jesus turned that around into a lesson and looked round about on them which sat with him and said, behold my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of God, the same is my brother and my sister and my mother. So Jesus was creating a greater family than the bloodline, saying that the people that his followers and his friends were his mother, his brother, and his sisters. Not denying that the other ones also, but he was enlarging the family, the spiritual family of the forever family of God. We're all children of God. We're all brothers and sisters. I thank you. Don't forget to watch the next show. I love you with the love that characterizes my personality. Here, have a flower. Ooh. Thank you. Bye.